Good morning everybody, it's jEbUs here from the Noob Player and welcome to another World of Tanks video. This one's slightly different. First of all I want to do a quick look, I guess first impressions at my new tier 10 tank destroyer that I just picked up, the Obj.263, and also wanted to talk about anything new that I'd noticed in the 9.12 update, which is released just at the end of the week. First and most obvious thing I think that everyone will notice is the view range changes, or the render distance changes, which is the way to describe it, given that's what it is. The white circle that you can see on my mini-map there, which is something that comes from the Cookie Baby mod pack, shows just how different it is now. Previously, when it was just the square, I think you would find that I wouldn't be able to see anywhere near as far forward as I can in this one. Obviously I'm not spotting that far forward, but that white line is probably, I'd say, 2/3 of a square on the map further forward now, which just makes positioning a little bit different now. There are some positions where previously in the corners of the square render you would have been able to see tanks that you would shoot. Now, because it's a circle, those parts won't be visible, but straight in front of you and to your sides will be. And if you're wondering whether or not you should get the Obj.263, those two bounces might have helped your decision, but I've got another little clip I'm just going to insert here which shows just how resilient this thing is, that you might enjoy. Okay, so here we are on Stalingrad, and once again it's in the Obj.263. In this battle I'm fighting alongside Grizz, who's in the jEbUs FV215B183. He's just off to the east of my position. I'm trying to get as hull down as I can in this thing, because from what I can tell so far, and I've only done less than 10 battles, but from what I can tell this thing's armour is very strong indeed, particularly the upper plate. If you can see his side angle of it at any point, you can see that it's really thick. The gun mandate seems pretty good too. So a position like this, where the lower plate is pretty well hidden, and all they've got to shoot at is just to the right hand side of the gun there, is actually pretty good. Obviously if I get flanked, artillery drops anything on me, I'm going to be toast, but at the moment there is no chance of getting flanked because I've got such good support, and fortunately this time around artillery don't seem to be that interested in me. And there's Grizz just taking off half of the T10, formerly known as the IS-8 I think, half the T10's health. That's the Doomstar. It brings the trollololols for sure. What I'm doing here, I'm just waiting for this T-57 Heavy to pop back out, because I'm pretty sure I can pin him easily enough. I think he thinks he can pin me too. 1, 2.
We can't fire accurately.
3.
Enemy is hit.
4. 4 hits from the T-57 Heavy that all bounce because of the strong armor. I think he was hitting the mantlet in that too, and in that trade I got off 2 clips on him, and 2 clips, 2 rounds, and basically dropped half his health, so I win. Okay, so after that brief interlude, we are back here on Stalingrad. One of the other things I've noticed since 9.12, and you hopefully see it here with me twitching around like an idiot, is there seems to be a lot more sensitivity in terms of the auto move or auto traverse of your tank when you move the gun barrel left to right to the limits of what the traverse is. It's causing me a bit of grief here. It actually causes Aruni a hell of a lot of grief when he's using his Bishop artillery piece for the first time in 9.12. He tells me that he's never really had to put the brake on before, but as you can see in this clip, you're going to want to have to do that if it's going to remain as sensitive as it is. It just gets a real wobble on here, and as you can see, his tank's moving crazily from side to side as he tries to aim his gun barrel. And you can see little ducks just waddling from side to side there. He can't get a shot off at all. So that's something to be aware of. Eventually I got a handle on it, and I think I might have just put the brakes on, basically to stop the reverse. And E75 turret or mantlet is not strong enough to stop this gun. So I guess Obj.263, first 2 points, really good armor, really good gun. It's a I guess it's a rapid firing gun compared to the other half of the Soviet tank destroyer line. Oh, another bounce. And I've always preferred that, so excuse this, zooms in and zooms out. I've preferred being able to fire more quickly for lower damage, because if I miss, at least it's not too big a deal. In the bigger, derpier tank destroyers, if you miss, you have to wait such a long time to reload that you may not get another chance to hit. Yeah, sure, you might be able to slam them with one shot, but if you miss, and I guess maybe tend to miss more than most, I don't know. If you miss, it's not so good. So this is the final replay for this video. This is going to hopefully be a nice video, and if the bouncing and the accuracy of the gun and the penetration for the gun had convinced you that the Obj.263 is worth getting, then this may well. So in this battle, it's a pretty happy mix of 10s, 9s and 8s for me, so a really good matchup. I've decided to take the kind of Overwatch position because with the new render distance you can see all the way over straight ahead now, which means that it's really easy for tank destroyers to help defend with the lights on this side, though not many of our lights or mediums went up that way, and we're up against the Centurion AX that we have to fight on there, which I'm just going to whiff on a shot I think on this one. I don't know where that shell went, but I think this is going to be really easy to defend now with the render distance changed the way it is, because as you can see I can basically get the whole corner of that map now, and it may make this a little bit campier than it already is. You often find the tank destroyers holding up the side, but for some reason in this one I've got a heavy to my right in front, I've got the derp scout to my right, I've got a Centurion AX behind me doing I don't know what. Perhaps he was asleep at that point, I don't know. But the gun handling on this thing's pretty good so far. I'm getting shots off really regularly. I think my reload's just under 10 seconds. Taking out one of the scouts, and here comes the T-264 straight down the field for some reason. I don't know what the hell he's thinking. And I say that a lot, I think, in these replays. Sometimes people just go crazy, and I guess sometimes I'm one of them. But he falls victim to my gun. All I've got in front of me spotting for those guys now is the Obj.140, I think it is, which means that I'm falling back just because I want to try and get a little bit out of their view range if I can. But he falls, so I've got Derp Scout to the right of me, the Centurion AX to the right of me, and the Ambex 1375 scouting in the middle, which is actually going to be really useful, I think, because the Derp Scout for some reason is focusing mostly on the derp and not much on the scout. I'm pleading the derp to go for it, but he doesn't bother, so in the end Centurion AX makes it all the way down here, but unfortunately get a shot off on him. He's just come down within a position where I can get my barrel onto him, and have to move forward a little bit here, but I get the kill.
Enemy vehicle destroyed.
So 3 kills so far, 2,348 damage. I would be happy if we won or lost at this point for the most part, given that this is such a I think this is maybe my 4th or 5th battle in this tank. Still getting the hang of what it's good for, what it can do, how fast it can move, what its traverse is like, all that kind of thing. So I mean, I guess one thing about little tanks is when you first buy a tank, you tend to find that you're in easier matchups like this, so you make the most of it if you can, but if you can't, you just, well, I tend to just be happy with picking up kills, picking up damage, and win or lose, it's not such a big deal to me, early on anyway. Later on, if I'm not picking up at least 50% winning rates in my tanks, it's not so fun. But as you can see, we've done pretty well. We've cleaned up this flank altogether now, so we just need to push through, try and clean up the rest of the scouts and the mediums who might be coming this way. I'm just going to take a pot shot at T92 based on a guess about where the top of his tank might be showing. don't think I did any damage to him, but I think it was worth a shot. The other Centurion AX comes through. I imagine he can't see me. 4th kill, falls to my gun. So what we really need to do now is try to pick up that last scout, and then I think our best bet is to put pressure on their cap to force their heavies to turn around, because ours, they're sort of up against it a little bit in the town really, given that we've been clearing up. The rest of the way, there's the scout down, 5 kills, 2,715 damage. If we can get some of their heavies to turn around, that's going to make it easier for us to defend our cap. But if they can all push through without having to, like if they can come through en masse, then there's just no way I'm going to be able to hold them. And the Borsig is going to struggle as well, given that Borsig's basically lower tier in this. So I'm asking the Centurion to cap. At first he's a little reluctant, but I think in a moment he sees the sense in it. And I'm just moving forward to try and get shots on anything that's coming through this side, and as you can see now the battle's evened up a heap. I think even though it's a little bit cheap to waste a shell on something like that and pick up 20 damage, it's a gun taken out of the game, which means less things shooting me. And that's, sometimes that's what you have to do. You got to think about it. If it's you versus a number of people, then the quicker you can reduce the number of guns shooting at you, the better you're going to be. I'm a bit worried about the 2 waffles. Panther there is, the waffle Panther is, obviously low health, so it's not going to be such a stretch, but if he comes around on my flank, I'm going to be in trouble. But the other problem is that the waffle E100, I don't think has even been spotted yet, or at least it's not visible at the moment, and that could be hella dangerous for me, because I don't know where the strong points and the weak points on this thing are, so I don't know how best to position it. There's the waffle E100 there. Get a shot off on him and try to fall back as much as I can to make the shot as difficult for him as possible. And also what I'm trying to do is angle so that if the shell does come to me, it's going to glance left to right if possible. Second shot on the waffle. So I've done a hell of a lot of damage to him at least. That one hits and hurts, that one bounces, and another hit. So I take 2 shots from the waffle, 3 shots from the waffle before I kill him. I don't know that there's that many tanks that I've driven that can handle basically taking a clip from the waffle E100, but this thing has a reasonable health pool, and I guess the armor held up enough to keep me alive. Now I realise that I'm not going to get flanked on my left, so I can push forward and try and keep the Centurion AX alive. I'm still a bit worried about whether they're coming forward or not, but I think if we had a scouting, it would have been a bit easier for us. The T-49, as I mentioned, was concentrating on derping. He was even all the way in the town at one point, but he's less than 20 seconds to go on the cap. All they'd have to do to beat us now really is to hit the Centurion AX, reset the cap, and then they'd kill him pretty easily if there's 2 or 3 of them going back, and there's 2. I ignore the Tiger, take the shot on the IS-7 because I want to try and protect the Centurion AX as much as possible. Pick up the 8th kill, 4,750 damage, and Centurion caps out. So all in all, really successful battle, and I'm really chuffed with the result. And what a result. So 8 kills means I get the Radley-Walters, I get the high caliber and the top gun as well, unsurprisingly. The surprise for me is that that's still only a Mastery 2nd class badge. Pick up a decent amount of XP and some silver as well. But yeah, 2nd class, I don't know how I'm going to get the full-on Masteries on that if that's not a good enough battle. As you can see, top the damage, just beat the waffle. So he's, I think, about 100 odd damage, just lower than me. There you go, 100 damage lower. And XP topped out as well. So really happy with that one. Really happy actually. I don't often have battles that go that well, so it's really nice to pick up a good one, and hopefully that convinces you that the Obj.263, which you don't see on the battlefield all that much, which as you can see there, even with the repair and doing ammo, still made money. You don't see it on the battlefield too much, but maybe people should be driving it more. It seems to be pretty good to me. It certainly suits my style of play better than the other style of Soviet tank destroyer. But thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.